Well, here we are. What are we at? I can't believe that we are 1 month in the books here for 2026, January 31st, 2026. I'm Todd Kuhnen, Bob Fischetti over there at the far side. We got our special guest, Harrison Shapiro, the general manager of... For the time being, the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers, and we'll have some announcements coming up here. And
I thought you were saying he's the general manager for the time being. I thought the guy hadn't even had a season, and you're already,
I think he's angling for the job.
Yeah. It's phrasing, Todd. Phrasing. We can't fire the guests when they come on. Come on,
make it public early.
Yeah, well, coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook. So yeah, there will be an announcement coming up, not today, but there will be an announcement coming up in the near future.
That's right.
And we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And it's not that the High Wheeler, we were talking about this before we started. What was the idea here? It's not that there's anything about the High Wheeler. It's a pretty awesome logo.
No,
right?
That was the first thing I said when I got here. I actually love the main logo with the bike. I think it makes for a great hat emblem. Ultimately, it's about the community, though, and the branding does not currently match with this community. It comes from Davis. It's about the bike culture in Davis. So our first initiative when we came in here was find a name, find a design that really matches and resonates with this community, and we're going to have some fun and make it a little funny as well.
And I was really ticked because they turned down the Yuba Sutter Flying Fish. Well, I gave him a second choice, the fish fins. Yeah. I mean, it's like nothing, Todd, nothing.
We couldn't afford to buy the IP from you.
Yeah, Bob, you can't be complete. You've already got your name etched in with Fischetti Cove over there.
Yeah, come and think of it.
We have to get some sort of brand memorabilia, a T-shirt. I took in a game at the Cove.
Yeah.
I fished a ball out of the Cove.
So I have to tell you this. You guys are changing it, so I want people to know that. But I took a foul ball on the front of my car, right?
Really?
Oh, man, big dent. Didn't break the windshield.
I remember that.
So I take it over, call my insurance company, and said, hey, does my insurance cover getting hit by a baseball? Silence.
But it's like the Cove is named after me.
Yeah. And so, but it was just crazy because it hit the hood, so they had to take the hood, the left front fender, and the door. Because they have to match it all.
Right.
And I'm like, that thing ended up being expensive. How much is a baseball?
I'm still waiting for that bill to come in.
Yeah. Will you take a two-party out-of-state post-dated check? Because if so, we got you covered. We are good to go.
Yeah. So anyway, I bring that up because they are raising the not the fence, the net.
The netting,
in several places.
Yeah, mostly out in the outfield. That's the big project, and of course
I'll park out there now.
Well, we're very fortunate. A lot of baseball fields are not in the center of town. Here, we're very fortunate that it's in the community. It's directly in the center of town. Now, the downside is obviously it's two busy roads that cross back there. So we're going to be raising the poles up another 10 feet and then getting all new netting that's going to go to that full height as well. So that should protect from all players hitting the ball out. But as I've told you guys before, this is the highest level of pro baseball that we've had in the community. These guys can hit it a long way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they can bomb it. It's not college ball anymore.
We saw that last year.
Yeah.
So there was always it's over the center left is the Dollar General.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Todd kept saying they're going to hit the O.
Yes. Because wasn't one of the letters out there?
It was.
Yeah.
It still is.
Coincidence. It was a coincidence.
How far of a shot would that be though? 460, 470?
We figured that out.
We used the highly reputable Google Earth and sat down and took markings. And I think it would have to be like a 475-foot shot.
I mean, that's a long way. But I've seen that in this league before. I mean, it can happen.
Well, we had a kid. It was my first year doing baseball. It's been 2017. Kid playing for one of the visiting teams. He was a little late coming in because he was playing for UCLA. Their season ended. They got as far as they got in the baseball tournament. So he hooked up with the Portland Pickles. Yeah. They came into town to play here, and he hit the Dollar Tree twice. twice.
Oh my God! In batting practice or in a game?
In the game.
Oh my God!
Game.
Wow.
He was like a man among boys coming into play. After a week, he was leading the league in home runs, RBIs. And he had missed the first 2 weeks of the season.
Wow.
But at the All-Star game, I heard him being interviewed. Which stadium do you like hitting in the most? And he just smiles at Marysville. It's like a launching pad down there. And then something happened. I don't know. Something happened the year before, the last 2 years before, so it was 3 years ago, math not strong suit. For some reason, there was a home run drought. They couldn't buy a home run. The college teams that were playing here before that team were hitting them out more than they were hitting them out the 2 years before you guys got here. But last year it was back.
Was that collegiate wood bat by chance?
It was collegiate wood bat.
So I do find that transition initially from going from metal to wood can be a struggle for players, and it's not necessarily a matter of distance. It's just how often you get what is on a wood bat, a slightly smaller sweet spot.
Well, actually, so the collegiate league that was here 2017 all the way up to 2022, they were a wood bat league. They were hitting it out.
Yeah.
It was that semi-pro league that was here for the 2 years before you.
Yes. That
it was wood bat. But those guys weren't hitting. The only thing that I thought with that was
it's hard when it's a wiffle ball.
That's true. That's true. But it occurred to me, the college guys, when they would come here to play, had just finished a season. So their timing was already down to hitting. Mm-hmm. The guys that came in to play those 2 years and maybe, but it didn't seem to be much in the hitch and the giddy up for the High Wheelers last year. I mean, they've had 2 weeks of spring training and they're trying to hit 90.
Yeah.
And it takes a little while for the bat to get up to speed.
I think that's an incredibly astute point, and you'll see that in our season as well. I mean, historically speaking, in our league, most injuries happen to pitchers early on in the season.
Yeah.
And pitchers predominantly because the workload that gets put on them, it's a lot more than they faced in college, and it's a long season where they're playing 6 days a week without exception. So yes, it does happen quite frequently. A little bit less so with hitters. Usually they get in the groove a little bit sooner, but obviously anybody can start slow. So hopefully we'll start fast this year, and we're going to finish fast, and we're going to win the championship.
I'm looking forward. This happens to me every year. As soon as baseball ends, right around August, September, I like the extra sleep I get for about a week because we're here till late in the evening and stuff. But then I start jonesing for baseball, and you look down, it's going to be another 9 months before I see the first pitch, and so. But we've already through January. It's around the corner.
It goes really fast, especially if you're in my role, which is on the operations side. Our season never ends. So we actually do a lot more work in the planning and everything that we have coming for this upcoming season. That still is a ton of work. That's a full-time job for all of us and my full staff in there. And then once the season hits, it is just nonstop 24/7 baseball all the time, which is how I like it.
Well, let's take a step back. We haven't been getting ahead of ourselves, and I know you've been on 93Q before, but let's take a step back. Harrison Shapiro, you come in. Where were you at last year?
Yeah.
And what brought you to Marysville?
Yeah. So I've been in this league now for about 6 or 7 years. I was previously with a couple different teams in Colorado, one on either side of the mountains out there. And by the way, talk about ball flying out of the park there. Oh my God, does the ball fly at elevation?
Yeah.
And they weren't exactly long fences either. So we saw a lot of home runs. So yeah, I was out there. I started as an assistant general manager for one club, and then moved up to general manager for a different club, and then moved up to president of that organization. So I've been involved in the industry. I've done almost every facet of baseball to a degree. I mean, I played baseball, I coached baseball, and then I worked in the concession stand and did ticketing. I've done it all. So
chief cook, bottle washer, everything going on there.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at washing dishes. At least that's what I tell people. Yeah, so worked my way up, and obviously always had a passion for it. I come from a baseball family where that's in our blood since day one, and now I'm just really proud to sort of leverage a lot of that experience, help teach some people that are on my staff as well about the baseball industry, and really build something special here. We did that at every team I've been with before, and left it better than when we started. And this is going to be to the next degree with this stadium and this community and this opportunity that we have. This is going to be a truly special experience this summer.
Yeah, last year the improvements that we saw just in the stadium alone, and for those of you that may have missed the opportunity to come out to a game last year, you come out this year, you're going to see. Last year we had the big video board, and we had to make sure that got running, but it was running by the first week of the season. We have in this league, they have the ability to challenge pitches. Well, in order to do that, we've got the technology to have electronic strike zone, balls and strikes. We can tell you how far the ball went, what the arc was on the ball, more importantly, what the pitch was and how fast it was going. So all this technology coming in, and we're just building on that moving forward, right?
That is right. And actually, I feel comfortable sharing this now. This isn't fully set in stone, but this is something we're working on to really enhance the game day experience. One thing I've always noticed when I go to a baseball game is what's the best seat in the house? It's right behind home plate, right?
Mine.
You're keeping it warm, I know.
I don't care what anybody else sees. I think it's the best seat.
Yeah. And my problem with it is that that opportunity is very much limited. Like most seats in a ballpark are not directly behind home plate.
Yes.
And what you lose is the real strategy of the game, which is the battle between the pitcher and the hitter. What pitch they're throwing, where the location is. From the side, you can see if it's up or down, but you can't see if it's inside or outside. So I was just kind of thinking and trying to, how can we make baseball more innovative, use the technology while not disturbing the essence of the game, so to speak. And I thought, why don't we take that TrackMan that is perfectly accurate, comes from the state-of-the-art TrackMan technology, and put it on the video board at all times.
Oh, wow.
So anywhere you are in the ballpark, you can see in real time what all the data is, where that pitch was, and then and it'll leave the pitches up throughout the whole at bat, so you can see the progression, see the strategy, and really get a deeper understanding for the game.
Well, and you get a chance to see how the pitcher is pitching that particular batter.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be the same every time.
Yeah.
It's a strategy for that batter. And if you leave him up there, you can see, like if he tried to work around him, nothing went over the plate. That guy's a hitter.
Exactly.
Look, I mean, he was close. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really a great idea.
I think it'll be fun. And like I said, baseball purists like myself, I don't think will be offended. In fact, I think it's additive to the experience.
Now, will it be something obviously like a delay so that they're not giving a because we still have the challenge system, so it's not like they would get in, take a look up at the scoreboard. Yeah, I want to challenge that. it was called a ball. I see it's a strike. Can I challenge that? No.
I'm working a way around that right now. So yeah,
it'll always be one pitch behind.
The goal, I will say, the goal, and it will be, is it for it to be instantaneous.
Wow.
I think that's really important for the experience.
That sounds awesome.
You guys are adding cameras, though. Last year, the bulk of it was up by the press box. They had a camera, and I watched. It was on Flow Sports at that time. I watched, and it was still great baseball.
Yeah.
But you're talking about enhancing that and having multiple cameras.
Yeah, the broadcast. We have a league deal, much like we did with Flow Sports. We have a new deal with an organization called HTN, Home Team Network. They do a lot of collegiate sports. I actually quite like their program a lot. They're going to be sending us a number of cameras, some of which are AI cameras, which allegedly follow the ball.
Oh, wow.
I've seen this technology in the past, and granted, AI has changed a lot in a few years, but it wasn't very successful for baseball. The ball just moves too fast and it's very small. But they've assured us that it's going to be effective. So we're going to have a combination of some AI cameras out there and then some manned cameras. But my favorite camera is the fan cam, which we could call it the fish cam, perhaps.
The fish cam.
Yeah, because we
you'll see me going down to the snack bar and back up like the fish cam.
Not eating a hot dog, though, I learned.
Yeah.
No, but that's great because I love the kiss cam, I love the dance cam. Yeah. Those are all really, really fun things. It makes the fans feel like they're part of the experience. So we're really excited to bring that to Bryant Field this year.
My favorite one of those kiss cams was the guy kept saying, "She's my sister." He was pointing at her, and you can see what he was saying. Finally, they put it up on the screen. Right?
Yeah.
Now, are we going to be playing any Coldplay?
all of last year, every fan, when we did the kiss cam, they did that. It was hilarious.
They actually, what was it? There's one of the insurance companies has worked that into their commercial.
Really?
Yeah, they say, you're so and so's cousin, and you just got caught on the kiss cam, and it's mayhem. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh,
that is so funny.
I do want to mention this because sometimes when we think of the total experience about going to a ball game, we don't often think about the sound and the sound out there. You guys did a killer job. I mean, it's just great. The announcer booth, the music.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, very live. I thought that was really well done, even when you had somebody down on the field because you were doing a game or something between innings. The sound is just really excellent, but you even plan on it. doing more with that. This cracks me up. If you pick something you like, Harrison goes, well, that was last year.
we can make it better.
Because,
it is funny that you mentioned the sound, though, because it does, and please stop me if this is too nitty-gritty in the weeds, but it's sort of like the Disneyland philosophy to minor league baseball, where you should almost be, I call it assaulting the senses, but in a nice way, with sights, sounds, and smells almost at all times, right? So there should be always something to do, always something to look at, always something to smell. So we've been very intentional about where we place some of our concessions equipment, so you're getting that fresh popcorn smell, fresh hot dogs.
I was just going to say, I'll bet popcorn's a big one.
Oh, there's a reason why you can smell it when you walk through Disneyland. You can smell it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It entices you. And then obviously sound, like you said. Yeah, so we're looking at even boosting up that system a little bit. I'd like to add a little bit more bass, just a little bit. But the sound quality is excellent, and so it's going to be really excellent this year.
That's just my philosophy. My belief is people, more than the score, more than anything like that, people are going to remember how they felt. They remember, how did I feel when I was at the game? And it's interesting you mentioned smell, because one of the things we learn in psychology is that the sense of smell is the one most closely tied to memory. So when you smell something, you can remember what it was, right, wrong, or otherwise. I'm looking at my teenage son going into his room sometimes. We need to take a look there. But
that's right up
20
there.
now, not a teenager anymore.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
That's right up there with smell my finger, where they go. Does that smell bad to you? Why would you ask me? No, that's not popcorn.
Why would you take the bait if somebody's asking you that? Why go there?
Not interested. So this is going to be really good, and the season actually it sounds like it's a long ways away, but the way that we just burnt through January, November, December, I thought I was ready to go home today for Thanksgiving dinner. Boom, we passed it. And you're talking about mid-May.
May 19 is our first home game, our opening day of the season. So that's going to be kickoff 2 weeks at home to start, which is great, by the way, to get our guys going.
Oh.
You start off, generally speaking, with a more positive record after a lot of home games. We are looking at hosting a couple of exhibition games, too. So if anyone's really eager to get out there and get some baseball before that date, we're going to be announcing those soon, too. And then a ton of other events, some baseball, some non-baseball related at the field coming soon as well. So yeah, like I've said to you many times, it's about turning the ballpark into an event space that happens to also have baseball.
Are we going to have local tryouts?
Oh yeah. We're close to announcing that day. Well, you got a good glove? Can we grease it up for you?
Oh, I should get a glove.
Yeah, you'll probably start with a glove.
Yeah. Well, however, if I barehand an 80-mile-an-hour ball, you guys are going to put me in like that.
We'll have to get you a contract.
And then, but it'll have to be after I leave at Venice Health.
Well, they are a partner of ours. We're proud to say
I'm out of the season on the first catch. He's done.
Oh, God.
No, I asked that because last year you guys had tryouts. You had some local boys that said, hey, I want to try out for this. And I think that's important.
Yeah, we've signed a couple of local players as well already, too. I mean, and some, I think at least one here from the Yuba Sutter region, and then a couple others from the surrounding towns. But this is a great opportunity as well. And then what we do when we do these trial camps is we guarantee, one or two of a minimum of guys that will sign to at least spring training contracts, so they can come out there and have an opportunity to make the team. So
yeah, Harrison, talk about that a little bit, because I got, not that it's hard to confuse me, but I didn't understand. Because the roster was very large, and then ended up, that's because you're coming out of spring training, you're filtering through who's going to stay.
Yeah.
So how big of a roster can you have, and what do you actually go down to?
So it's a little complicated. It's technically a 24-man roster, but you can have a 25th guy if he comes from one of the Pioneer League tryouts. So every team does that because it always is beneficial to have that additional player, usually a bullpen catcher or another pitcher. So it's a 25-man roster, essentially. But for spring training, there's no limit to the amount of guys we bring in. Our manager, he's very meticulous and does all of his research and homework before he brings guys in, not only on their playing ability, but their character. He's a big character guy. So we're probably only going to bring in about 30 to 33 guys, roughly. So he doesn't like to make a lot of cuts. I mean, that's one of the hardest things about this industry, is that it involves a lot of, job loss. Frankly, that's what it is.
I remember interviewing the guys in the dugout. We were kind of interviewing him and introducing him to the community, and I kept getting catchers. I said, "How many catchers you got? How many catchers does a team have?"
Yeah, in our league, we generally shoot for 2 catchers and maybe a third for bullpen catcher. The problem is that catcher is such a exhaustive position for your body, so you can't do it every game like the other positions. But if you only have 2, the other catcher is doing all the bullpen catching, so you don't actually get a day off. So most teams try to carry a bullpen catcher, whether they're on the roster or not. Yeah.
Well, last year, one of most reliable catchers that we had a pretty good catching squad among the guys that were here. But Mike Campagna, he got cut from spring training, but brought back almost immediately, and then he ended up doing the lion's share of the work down the stretch. I saw he just got signed by a team over on the East Coast. That was a Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley something or other. But he's playing over there. I also saw. I was hurt. I was hurt. One of our ball players, one of our pitchers, I saw was it 2 days ago? Brett Wozniak, signed with Long Beach, signed with the Coast.
Yeah,
is that the name they're going with?
That is the name. Yeah,
I don't mind saying this. A trader's a trader.
Yeah.
They also have an alternate.
We will interview him when they come up here to play. We will talk. We'll get him in the booth.
And you know what? We're going to call him the what was it? The one he didn't like, the Wizard of Woz or something like that.
He hated that.
He hated that name.
We're calling him that.
Yeah, that's it now. That's
so
it.
My understanding is obviously Oakland was the big rival last year, right?
Yes.
So now
the Ballers.
There's 2 additional California teams that are in now. Do we see them usurping the Ballers as the main rival? So we have the Modesto Roadsters. Obviously, that's proximity-wise not that far from us. And then there's the Long Beach team, the Long Beach Coast.
I would say for next season, it's still going to be a grudge match between us and the Ballers, because it's what do they call it? It's the 80 series.
They won one.
Yeah.
So it's a playoff, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to get this third one?
It's the rubber match.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
But I think the guys from down south are going to be coming up, and what's going to make that interesting is if they sign more ball players from here coming up. Yeah, we used to play here. We built this house, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to make baseball even more fun.
It will. And actually, there's going to be even more teams. I mean, this league is continually expanding. So, expect, we're saying 4 California teams right now. There's going to be more coming down the road. We're going to have a full-fledged, little mini league within our league here in California. So it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be like the used to be the NL East and the NL West. So we will have the Pioneer East, the Pioneer Mountain, the Pioneer West, and then they'll meet for the championship.
I love it.
Is there a limit, Harrison, to how many California teams they can have, or can they build it as large as?
No, it can be as large as they want to go. Yeah, as many communities there are that can support it. And the real challenge in this industry, and again, tell me if it's too much inside baseball, literally.
It can never be, ever.
I guess this is a sports show, right? Stadiums, they're tough to find. You don't see too many people building new stadiums at this scale anymore, and if you do, it's usually part of a larger complex with additional funding and other revenue sources, usually tied in with youth sports. So finding an appropriate ballpark, or finding a ballpark that's close that you can put some money into and build it up to be a professional grade is more challenging than it sounds. I've heard of some other markets that have been floated throughout California, some of which have ballparks, some are talking about brand new ones. So that's the real challenge at this level, is finding appropriate ballparks. There's plenty of markets in California. In fact, there used to be a lot more collegiate wood bat teams, other professional leagues that have since kind of gone by the wayside. But our league, thankfully, is expanding. So expect to hear a lot more about the Pioneer League.
Well, I hope that what we see. I mean, there's some ball clubs out there that lost their Major League Baseball affiliation, and really. One of the reasons they lost is because Major League Baseball had a certain standard that the stadium had to meet that was, unless you've got
prohibited
$15 million to soak into a stadium, you can't do it. So you're kind of stuck in this no man's land. But now that they can see the product that the Pioneer League brings, I hope those municipalities look at that and say, hey, our stadium will fit with that.
You just described exactly what happened with the Modesto team, actually. So the Modesto Nuts was the longtime team there forever, and then when MILB they had increased their stadium standards again, they found it financially not possible to be able to upgrade the stadium, so they opted to move. And then that's when the Modesto Roadsters, the new Pioneer League team, came into that location. So yes, I see a lot of opportunity for expansion, taking over old markets, but then expanding into new markets.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some. I think Bakersfield was in that situation, and then Lancaster was also in that situation. So the facility is there; they've built it. Will they come? So we'll see what happens.
Well, that's what's really special about Bryant Field is this is a perfect ballpark, perfect stadium for this level of baseball. I mean, it's the perfect balance between intimate experience, but still having the capacity to be able to support large events and large games. So we're actually going to have a 4th of July game this year. Generally speaking,
nice.
4th of July for baseball is a pretty big night. We intend to pack that out, so it'll feel intimate, but rowdy.
What's it, 250th? I mean, that ought to be a
250th of the country and 150th of Marysville.
Yeah.
Wow.
175th from Marysville.
Oh, 175th? Oh, my apologies.
So
It's very exciting.
Celebrated?
Celebrated.
Anyway, it's a great thing because you guys already do fireworks, and so now you can just like pump up the volume. I mean, I'm like,
we have some other. Again, I'm probably divulging too much too early, but that's kind of what I do. We're looking at
heard it here first.
We're looking at some other post-game entertainment options and some stuff I actually did in Colorado that were really fun. We were limited on how many fireworks we could do here, which were not here, thankfully. But we did drone shows. We did these really interesting laser shows. It was actually the first time it had ever been used in baseball, where it's a downward projected laser show.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like 3D on the field. Yeah, it's really cool and fun. And again, baseball industry is different in that you have to give people a reason to come outside of just the baseball. You have to make sure the baseball is great and it's high level play, but there needs to be so much effort. It needs to be a carnival, a community fair wrapped around a baseball game.
You could tell who it was their first time to come out to Bryant Field, because you guys had the fireworks during the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
When they said the Rockets' red glare, they're out there in the fireworks, and you could tell if they hadn't been there before.
I remember that. The first time that happened, the collective chest clutching.
Everybody loved that.
Assaulting the senses.
Yes.
All that.
And hopefully we don't have, we still had some folks last year that this was the running commentary at one of the games, what it looked like a corporate meeting that they were having on top of the dugout on the first base side.
What is this? I'm not familiar.
So there were some folks that came out to the game, and on the first base side, at one point in time, one of the people actually stood up, kind of had her backside sitting on the top, so her back was to the field, and I could almost, I think during the play-by-play, I started narrating what I thought she was saying. So, spare time, part-time opportunity, only 7 days a week. Now, what you want to do is you want to get all your friends and family. You're going to have a whole garage full of product. And that's what it felt like out there.
Oh, my God.
It was hilarious because it just, you're watching the game, and then, occasionally you look in the stands, and there's a couple of things that are just fun. You love it when a foul ball, because those kids, it's just they move as one.
Yeah.
It's like Lord of the Flies rules too,
But we look over there, and I don't know which one of us saw it first, and it was like they were having a meeting, and that's what made it so funny. It's like, guys, there's a ball game going on, and we're winning, by the way.
There's always some oddities you see at a baseball game. No game is ever predictable, and that's what makes baseball so special. I love it.
Well, this is going to be exciting. Do have to ask if someone is wanting to be hired, because you guys hire.
Yeah.
What's the process for that?
Yeah, just go on over to our website at freebirdsbaseball.com. The links are also on some of the social posts we put out there. But we're putting out for a number of positions right now. Obviously, we need people on concessions. We need someone to be in the mascot. I mean, the mascot is real, of course, but we need.
I'm not doing the mascot.
Oh, I kind
No,
of
no,
had counted
I know.
on
I
you.
saw that look, Harrison.
I
No.
thought you were going to do it.
Look, okay, the mascot needs to be taller. So here's the deal. Look at Todd and I. Which one should be the mascot?
Well, I've always said you've got a face made for a costume. So
I'm busy during the games. I'm already spoken for.
no, yeah. So
Wait a minute. What about your son?
Oh yes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Oh, I got a summer job lined up for you. So yeah, and it's really important to us to hire from the community. Again, we value ourselves. We consider ourselves a community asset. We want to be by the community for the community. So anyone that lives here in the Yuba Sutter region or in the surrounding areas, please do come apply.
Well, yeah, you talk about that you're by the community for the community. That's one of the nice things about this show in particular is the High Wheelers are. This is the High Wheelers Sports Recap.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not in the High Wheelers season, but you've undertaken to sponsor the recap of all the high school games that go on a weekly basis because you really want to be integrated with that.
That's right. That's right. I mean, obviously, baseball, we very much value seeing it continue to grow and supporting youth initiatives that are out there playing baseball in the community and helping out in any way we can. We're going to be going to all the little leagues with the mascot, with players. We're going to be doing camps. Like, that's really important to us, and that supports the community. So yeah, we're really proud to work with you guys on this.
Are you going to have in-season camps for the kids?
We sure are.
As well?
Yeah, including at least one or two that'll be totally free as well. And that's part of an MLB initiative as well. So we're working with MLB on that one. But then we're going to have a number of other camps where, again, it's the players and coaches that are actually doing the coaching for the kids. And yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun event.
So who is the new manager?
Oh,
yeah.
yes. That also has not been announced yet.
Oh.
It's also a secret. I've told you in private. No, we're going to be announcing very soon. That it's going to be part of our.
Not everybody gets Bill Belichick.
It might be Bill Belichick.
He couldn't.
Apparently, the Hall of Fame didn't get Bill Belichick. So
I mean, baseball isn't even his game. But hey, you bring him in, people are coming to watch.
It is hard to deflate a baseball. So
yeah.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That was nice.
We're going to be announcing that along with the branding and everything. Make it one big announcement.
Okay.
So
and
just
at
a couple
that
weeks.
time, you'll also talk about being able to have players come and stay with you. You can be a host family.
Exactly. Yeah.
However, I am going to let this cat out of the bag.
Uh-oh.
If you're a host family, you get season tickets.
Season
tickets. And I can always tell the host family because, man, whatever player they're hosting, all of them stand up. Yeah!
The players really become a part of the family. It's very special.
Do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and a number of other perks too. Special events, merchandise stuff. So yeah, we really try to take care of our host families. They mean so much to us. So.
Yeah, they wouldn't stay in my garage last year. I don't know why.
We'll reassess this year.
You were talking about how they become part of the family. Major League Baseball pitcher Anthony Bass. Mm-hmm. He played for the Gold Sox way back in the day here, and I think he was pitching for Tampa Bay. This would have been the late right around 2019. Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah.
He was pitching for Tampa Bay, and when they were playing the Giants, he had his host family from the Yuba Sutter area come down to the game to hang out with him because he had maintained contact with them.
Yeah, every team I've ever been with, that rings true. Host families stay in touch with their players generally for life. I mean, they stick with them throughout their entire career, and yeah, it's a really, really special bond, and it's something that's very unique to minor league baseball. And again, it builds that deep connection with the community. So, yeah, I love stories like that.
You have somebody stay, you don't know.
Yeah,
you have no way of knowing how far they'll go, and
no, that's right, and that's why you root for them so hard.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen.
That's sports.
So we're going to run out of time, but before we do, I just want to bring up the game last night you went to, because guys, we are going to cover local sports, but we're just real excited because High Wheelers sponsoring this show, and so we got to give them time. We got to do it.
Yeah. Sorry for dragging you through that.
Yeah, I had a
and
chance.
now a word from and now 30 minutes from our sponsor. It's like,
Come to the game.
It's good though. It's good. We want to get people excited. It's going to be a great baseball season, and thanks again. So we're going to be doing other sports, local sports, but I just want people to know once we transition and the games, we'll be at the games, and so Todd and I will be doing the pregame show at this time. So even when we get into baseball in May, we just switch right over and.
Yeah, and I assume my invitation has already been lost for that after this outing.
Oh no! You will have a permanent seat at the table.
Oh boy!
Yes. Yeah. And I suppose, lastly, you didn't really tout yourself, but when we talked, the three of us had a meeting about a month ago, and one of the things that, because I think with my stomach, one of the things that I was really focused on was you said that you do it all, but you have a real keen interest in food and beverage.
Yeah.
We all like that.
Yes.
We all thought that was the key right there.
And you've got plans.
I mean, I just think it's such a key part of the baseball experience. I mean, going to watch a baseball game is fun, but if you end up having a bad food or cold hot dog, which is like the biggest sin in the baseball industry, is to have a cold hot dog. Yeah. So I'm all about like a general level of consistency. Obviously, is significantly raising the quality, but then offering a wider selection of concession options, and especially to incorporate like local community flavors into the menu, I think is something I'm really passionate about. We're also working on trying to get our be able to have cocktails as well, and wine and beer, and everything on the alcoholic beverage side, and then we're going to bring back fountain sodas because I think most people prefer some ice on a hot day.
So when the family comes out to the ballpark, they're going to have the ability to don't go to eat before, because you'll have the ability to eat at the ballpark. Not just that, but you're not limited to just that one option they've got. They'll have the ability to select. So that you got one kid that likes hot dogs, another kid doesn't like hot dogs, like something else. There's something for everybody.
I don't really like to view it as a concession stand, because concessions, like in terms of like market position, is like such a specific thing, and like it evokes such a feeling in people, and in terms of the quality of food to expect. I look at it as more of like fast casual dining, where like there's this opportunity to be really intentional and very smart, offer a wider option and of much higher quality and consistency. So I'm excited for you guys to try it next year.
Yeah, they didn't call it the concession stand. It was a dugout diner.
Dugout diner. I love the goofy names. I'm all about that. So we're still going to have those, but we might change it up a little bit, match it with the branding.
Just
I like it.
Probably stay away from Roadkill Cafe.
Well, one thing, we are bringing in burgers this year too. So
nice.
Got to have burgers. They are not roadkill.
There's not going to be anything like freshly caught from Freschetti Cove.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Not yet. We'll see how the sourcing works out.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming in and talking baseball with us. We do want to talk a little bit about what happened in the local area. Like I said, I had a chance to take in the Yuba City Honkers basketball game last night. It was... Look, I've been on the edge of my seat at baseball games, but last night was an edge of your seat. They're taking on 12 Bridges from down in Lincoln. Now, 12 Bridges came in with a record. I think they were 18-4 or something like that. They had a pretty good record. Yuba City High School scuffling a little bit early on, but they've started to bring it on in the last couple of weeks. 4 or 5 weeks or so. Last night's game, unfortunately, it ended up being a loss for the Honkers. They lost that one 61-60. But
I don't care what sport it is. I like a close game.
Yeah.
But I hate a heartbreaker.
And this
that was a close game, but it was a heartbreaker. 1 point.
This was a heartbreaker. I'll tell you that on paper you might think that 12 Bridges should have had their way. They got two guys on the ball club, one's 6'6", the other's 6'8". I think the tallest guy on our ball club's 6'2", 6'3". But the fight and the scrap that our ball club had, it was amazing. Right early on, they were down by 5, but then they brought it back. At the end of every quarter, the Honkers were up, and it was just at the end, they had a little bit of trouble inbounding the ball. It was a turnover, so it goes back to them on the baseline. And 12 Bridges inbounds the ball. They're down by 1, and the Honkers get a monster block. 1.9 seconds, but the ball goes out of bounds. So 12 Bridges got to inbound again, put a layup up with time expired, and the Honkers end up losing. But shout out to the guys over at Yuba City High School. It was an exciting game. Had all of the they're not from our community, so I'll just say it. They had all the Karens from 12 Bridges where, you can't call that foul on my son and all this kind of stuff. But, shout out to guys like Alex Carandeas, Sukhjit Sahota, Dante Lepe, Xavier Armstrong. I think I read on there about 6'2". That guy at 6'2" played easily 6 to 10 inches above his height. He was a monster on the boards. He had a block. In the third quarter. It was one of those, he hit the ball on the block so hard it goes into the stands. It was just an awesome shot. And bringing it up every time, who did I see here? Travis Lamelli. Every time he was taken out of the game, there was a little bit of a lull. Lamelli goes back in, and it's right back to the offense. There was no quitting these guys. Jaden Antonio and Janov Chima. One of those guys, I think it was Sahota, has this three-point shot, looks like a knuckleball. Bringing baseball in. It was just there's no spin on it. But that thing found the bucket every time. If you're going to do that, awesome to you. It was a great game. Heartbreaker that they came away with the loss. But what we're going to do here is we're going to keep going out to the games, try to take in some Marysville High School games as well. Marysville's got a great record, and keep that going. See if we can get the general manager, or not the general managers, what are they call athletic directors. I had a chance to speak with the athletic director from Yuba City High School last night. He wants to come on the show. We'll get the ADs from the other shows to come on. And all of this is made possible because High Wheelers are sponsoring this show.
And very proud to do so. Thank you for having us.
It's just great. Really appreciate that. And we're not just going to stick with basketball. We'll also bring in soccer. For those of you that like soccer, and we'll cover all the sports as there's season. We got baseball coming up. Talking with the AD, we might have the opportunity to do some play-by-play for the local high school for Yuba City boys baseball and stuff. And Fish, I think you might be on board with that.
Yeah, we actually broadcast their games. I went in. The guy had me. He had an announcer, and he had me do color. And we were leaving because they got that, Stan was coming down the stairs. He said, "You're never doing that again." And here I am, color for the High Wheelers.
And we have fun
words.
too. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think high school sports are so exciting, and we're so fortunate to have as many high schools as we have around here. And I was just telling you, I've got to find out. There is a girl from Faith Christian that just got some record. I'm trying to remember her name. Just phenomenal thing. And it's like we get that, right? Yuba College, but in our high schools. And it's like, I just think it's a great opportunity, thanks, Harrison, to highlight these local players. Man, they're out there working hard.
This is a sports community. We're just happy to support that.
Okay, see if this name sounds familiar. This is using Google AI. According to all I typed in was Faith Christian girls basketball three-pointers, because you said the three-pointers, right?
Yeah.
Lauren Harris,
that's it.
Senior, Faith Christian High School, set a national high school record for the most career three-pointers by a girl, exceeding 643 in a 4-year career. That's 643 threes as of January 30th, 2026.
Wow.
So
come on,
good for you. Like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and she's only 4'6". No, I'm just kidding.
And you know who's going to benefit from that is the school she's committed to go to. She's a commit to Long Beach State.
Oh.
So, they're just like, come on, bring the three-pointers here. So,
wow.
So that's awesome stuff there.
Thanks for looking that up, because I do think when somebody does something outstanding like that, folks, we want to carry that stuff and, let you know who's doing that. There's some other things, trap shooting and rifle teams and things like that where they're winning national championships. So we want to try to get them to come on and just different people come on. But anyway, I'm excited about it.
By the way, the game that she got that record in was just yesterday, the 30th. Hit 7 3-pointers in that game alone. I mean, 21 points just from her
She's
shooting
like
beyond the
Caitlin
arc.
Clark. Yeah. she's the high school Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, right? My son is over here. He's like, yeah, Dad's never completely honest. I'll be completely honest. My interest level in women's professional basketball was low. Caitlin Clark comes along.
I know, same
and
here.
I don't know what it was about her, but it was just from college going into the pros. It's compelling, and
I saw
it's just awesome.
One of those little YouTube real quick things. That's what she did, and I was just like, oh my gosh, who is this? And then pretty soon, if you look at that, they keep sending it to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so I got to see it, and I just went, she is a phenom, and you're gonna have that. But if we don't ever like this gal from Faith Christian, I think it's right that she's local, right? To say, hey, look what this girl did.
Oh, absolutely. And to get the recognition, I mean, that's one of the things when Bob and I are first talking about wanting to do this show, is that it just seemed like the recognition for the amateur high school sports was lacking. I mean, people want to be able, they want to have the motivation. There's something about being able to perform. I remember playing Sutter Butte's Little League, 1978. I was 10 years old, and it was just beside myself happy because it said Todd Kuhnen got a hit. That's all it was. But you see your name there, right?
It makes all the difference in the world. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, and I want to do that. We've got such great, and the athletic directors, coaches, getting them in. I just think I think it's such a great opportunity to highlight that, and then it moves right into high wheelers, and we can do college. But it's like generally we really want to make sure that our high school kids get the recognition they deserve.
Absolutely.
And then Harrison's going to start scouting at all the, because he doesn't have much to do.
Yeah, who's to say we already aren't?
He probably is. He's sending Jackson.
Yeah, the challenge is
check it out.
Yeah, the challenge is I would hate for any player to lose their eligibility. That's always a real challenge.
That is the big deal.
If they want to play in college. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. With all these new NIL rules, are they really losing eligibility?
I've heard that's changed, but it's been a while since I was being scouted out of high school. So,
well, you had mentioned something, just to swing this back to the high wheelers a little bit. You had mentioned, obviously the season's only three months long. But this is a year-round job for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 40, 50, 60 hours a week for you doing this stuff, even in January, in December, going forward, right?
Yeah, no, that's right. It's 24/7 in this business, and even more so during the season. But yeah, right now it's more like a traditional office job that I think a lot of people would be familiar with. It's a lot of future planning and doing, working together, collaborating, being creative, which is really the fun part. And then once the season comes, it is just a grind. But it's you can only really survive this industry if you have the passion for it, because it's grueling. It takes a lot of time, and you can't miss a game, right? Like when you're operating it. So
I did an In the Tank with Harrison, got a chance to talk about, because his whole family was involved in baseball, and their Christmas tree, the ornaments are baseballs.
Nice.
Yep. No, that is right.
Every time his dad put it over the fence, they put a hook on it, wrote what year, right?
He used to have the most amazing memorabilia collection. I would have loved for you to see it. Yeah, it burned in a fire, unfortunately, but he had the most unbelievable collection. Yeah, massive. He had a whole storage unit for stuff. Yeah, it's too bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your dad's been a baseball guy for on the pro level and everything.
Yeah, as I said on the podcast, my parents actually met both working for the Giants. So in the Bay Area, and they met there together.
Would be my dream.
Well, my mom was head of security, so that tells you a little bit about her, how tough she is. Yeah,
Which these two boys they were dialed in.
Yeah,
Mom was not afraid. It's time for bed, boys.
that is exactly right.
Like a scene from Christmas
she's a
Story going up the stairs.
She's a 6 foot tall Norwegian woman. Yeah, she doesn't.
No,
she doesn't
she's
take
not.
it. Yeah.
I
You'll
can't
meet her
wait to
soon.
meet her. We're gonna meet them, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're gonna be
it's
out here
gonna be
soon.
great.
So yeah, it'll be fun. But
Nice.
so it's in the blood.
Definitely
and
look forward to meeting your folks.
it's gonna be fun. Yeah. He said he wants to come on and do the podcast. So we'll have to get him on
that'd
this
be
show.
great.
The podcast is fun because you got time to really kind of get into it, and
He is verbose, so I'm warning you now.
well, it's easy for me because if somebody's verbose, I just go, I love this.
Makes your job easier.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Fish. The gambler mentality comes out. He's like, I'll see your run-on sentence, and I'll raise you one of my own. Come on.
4 hours later.
You call that verbose? I'll show you verbose.
Let me tell you how the comma is supposed to be used in a sentence.
No, it's gonna be great though. Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
listen, we're going to have to get out of here. Thank you so much, Harrison, for coming on. We're going to have Harrison back periodically as things progress towards the season, and I just think there's a lot. They're going to be doing the name change coming up mid-month.
Yep.
And then we'll have Harrison on then, and we'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved in. Just such a great opportunity. Todd and I were out there all season last year and had a blast.
Absolutely. Some best time I've ever had doing baseball.
Yeah. And anyway, well, we're going to get out here. Thanks for watching. Thank you for High Wheelers. Look at the logo behind us. The High Wheelers going to be something new, but we'll be getting a hold of some of the athletic directors, and that will be coming up on the I hate to say High Wheeler Sports Show, the No Name Sports Show,
The team in the Pioneer League Sports Show.
Yuba Sutter
go.
Baseball.
Yes, Yuba Sutter Baseball.
Just hit that green arrow. There it is. Thank you, Yuba Sutter.
Woo! This is fun, man. You guys make it so easy.